Okay, I might be able to do this.
Okay. Chairperson Russell.
Okay,
Say again?
Chairperson, oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Russell.
Present.
Commissioner Bowman.
Present.
Commissioner Woods. Present. Commissioner Case.
Here.
Chairperson Hollins.
here,
Commissioner
way over
Oberg.
here.
Commissioner Oberg.
Here.
Commissioner Carpenter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Donna. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
We got
indivisible,
individual with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item, approval of minutes. Consideration of minutes for the approval, consideration of the November 18th, 1921 regular meeting minutes for approval as written or with noted corrections. Anybody have any?
I found no errors in it. I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Number 2, consideration of public comments. Those wishing to address the Clean City Commission need not to request permission in advance. Action taken as a result of public comments will be limited to directing staff to study the matter or rescheduling the matter for consideration and decision at a later time pursuant to ARS 38-431. Public comment procedures. The meeting of the Clean City Commission is a hybrid meeting with 3 opportunities for public participation. Comments may be made as follows. In person, those wishing to address the commission in person do not need to pre-register. Space is limited and will be allotted on a first-come, first-served basis. Attendance priorities will be given to presenters first and then non-presenters. Call-ins, those wishing to address the commission by telephone will need to pre-register by 3 p.m. on Thursday, January 20th by emailing dalderson@cityofkingman.gov and providing their name, address, telephone number they will be using. Email agenda item they will like to comment on. There we go. Once registered, a link will be additional instructions will be provided. Only those who have pre-registered will be admitted to the meeting. Written comments. All written comments must be submitted by 3 p.m. on Thursday, January 20th, 22, by emailing dalderson@cityofkingman.gov or dropping of handwritten comments at the Public Works main office located at 3700 East Andy Devine Avenue. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to comment, and all comments will be shared with the commission and attached to the minutes for this meeting. Members of the public can watch or listen to the meeting on YouTube at youtube.com, City of Kingman. Do we have any public? Okay.
Can I make a comment about that? In the event of such like this tonight where we have no one in the audience for public comment, is it necessary to read that whole, just for expedience, we need to really read that whole A proposition here?
Well, I think we should read a part of it. I think we could simply say public comment procedures in that first paragraph, and then,
First paragraph.
yeah, as outlined below. So,
Good.
Do we need
And
to
then
make a
ask Donna
motion
for
on
any
that, or
call-ins,
we
and
need
then,
to
yeah, and then just ask us if there
Yeah.
are any. Yeah.
would we need to make a motion on that, or we just go ahead and?
Well, this is the way it has to be written on the agenda.
I know it has to be written this
Yeah,
way.
but no, I think we can just say, we can just outline after that first paragraph, as follows.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, old business. Event calendar, monthly update of the Clean City Commission calendar, discussion and possible update upcoming events.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Donna's done some nice work in this month's packet, so she redid her calendar, so it looks pretty good. The only event I have for this month is just I'll remind people that we are accepting Christmas trees out of Public Works, 3700 East Andy Divine. Those are being recycled and used out at our wastewater treatment facility. So those will be accepted through the end of the month. I don't know if anybody else had any other items this month or next month that they would like to make us aware of.
No one else has any comments? Teresa, any comments on that? Event calendar?
Yes.
You?
I didn't have one in my packet, so, that I downloaded, so that's why I was
Oh.
gonna take a gander at it real quick. Pretty standard. So I wanted to add on like a cleanup, at least once a quarter, to put it on the books, and hopefully we can pick a specific day, like a specific Friday, because I think that works better for Public Works folks. So we can just put it on there, so if you're able to attend, then that's great, and hopefully you can hit the next one, so that way at least it's on the books and we can get into practice of doing our adopt-a cleanups.
Yeah, and we did actually add an item under new business, 4B, to talk about commission schedule cleanups. So
Okay, so not under the event calendar?
it will end up on the event
Okay.
calendar. We put it in as a separate item for
Okay.
discussion.
Then that's all I had.
Moving forward, community outreach and education, discussion of possible action regarding presentation topics for future meetings.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, again, we have a list of what we've got scheduled. Initially, we were going to try to do the low-impact development presentation at this meeting, but there was a scheduling conflict with the folks from Mojave County Flood Control, so we will roll that one out. Next month will be the open meeting law training. That's an annual training that the commissions go through, and also included in that is a little bit of kind of a commission orientation for some of our new members. So hopefully that'll be beneficial to you. But again, if you have any ideas or any contacts for people you think that could come in and do presentations that would be relevant to, the things we talk about and the things we do, we're open for any input or suggestions, or even if you just want to forward some contact information for us, we can hunt that down. So.
Okay, anything else on that subject? We'll move forward to the community recognition program. I'll update on that one. We have 3 new applications in. Rob looked them over, Donna, myself, we pretty much approved them. I have them over at the sign shop getting all the plaques made up. I really don't want to throw out the names right now because it is a nice surprise for these people, but one is a club here in town that does monthly cleanups. They do quarterly cleanups. They just help the community out tremendously, and so we're going to award them. Another one is a very large corporation out by the airport. Don't want to say what they manufacture or let the cat out of the bags, but anyway, they do a lot of 90% of their product is recycled type products, so they manufacture stuff out of recycled products. So we felt that was a good, and then the other one was a residential property that was purchased, converted to commercial. The owners have just cleaned up that whole property tremendously and planted plants and really made it look presentable. And so we should have the plaques completed within the next week or two, and then I'll get with Rob and Donna and we'll start scheduling a time to present the plaques to the people.
Commissioner
Anything
Oberg,
else?
have you had any more luck trying to schedule your
No.
your last one out of your original
No.
ones? Okay.
So we're still working on, and she knows about it, June Nelson, she's in San Diego, it's very difficult to get a Zoom thing going with her and present the plaque to her. Rob and I talked about it, but we are having problems putting that all together, but we're working on it, and she is very appreciative of the award. She just doesn't have it in her hands yet, so. Okay.
And I
Anything
guess,
else on that?
well, the only thing I would add is that, we've been working with the Public Information Officer for the City of Kingman, so we did do a Facebook post and a press release telling people about the program, letting them know. So hopefully that'll spur some more applications into us. So, and that's included in your packet.
Awesome.
Okay, moving forward, service to the community program, discussion possible action regarding the service to the community.
And I guess I think I probably do that on most meetings, but I'll give a general overview of the program. And so what we've been tasked with is trying to put together a program where we work with volunteers. Some volunteers are going to donate materials to us. Other people will volunteer to actually work with us and try to schedule at least a quarterly cleanup of someone's private property. We've got people that don't have the financial or physical means to clean up their property, and maybe they're sideways with the neighborhood services, or maybe they're just people that some of our partners know, people that be recommended by churches or other service organizations. And we've worked through the risk management side. We've got waivers in place for volunteers and for the property owners to sign. And Don has gone through and put together this draft brochure of the program. Bless you. And Eddie's kind of working on an inventory of what we've got. We'll still need to try to scrounge up a trailer that we can outfit and get that set up with all of our tools and PPE and all the other materials we need to do it. But I think we're real close to the point of going out and starting to hit up some service organizations, community groups, other churches, let them know about it, see who we can sign up for work volunteers or what other businesses might be interested in donating to us for materials. So I think in the next couple of months we'll be ready to roll that out. So that's kind of be our focus this next month is, and we would ask for any assistance that, you'd be willing to provide, but to reach out and see, whether it's hardware stores or whoever might be willing to donate some materials, and then coming up with a contact list and maybe a little calendar of speaking engagements where we could reach out to service organizations. So that's kind of what we'd like to be able to work on next month and have something to roll out to say, okay, so this is the plan going forward. And we know, the plans always change as you work through something, but at least we can get moving on it. So,
I had a question on that.
yes, sir.
Is the program just strictly for in the city limits? Or-
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
And that's, I guess the rationale for that is that, this program's commission's funded by the Solid Waste Department, and those revenues are collected from our, it's an enterprise fund. It doesn't utilize any tax dollars. It utilizes the fees from sanitation rates, and our services are limited to inside the city limits.
I've got a question.
Sir?
On the brochures, do you have a timeline when those are going to be available that we can be able to pass out when we go to speak?
Well, I think we're still looking for any input. I don't know if we're still, it'd be nice to come up with a catchier name, I think, but something a little briefer and maybe, I don't know, but No, I think we're still looking at any input to finalize the information that we would be distributing, including the brochure.
Okay, so we're still looking for a better name?
Yeah, yes, sir, I think, I mean, we could proceed with it as is, but
Right.
I think it'd be worth a little bit of effort to try to come up with something a little bit snazzier, yeah.
Okay, Rob, I got a question. Do we contact you when we want to get more information as to how you want us to go about contacting these organizations and what we're looking for?
Yeah, please feel free to contact me and, you know, if you have any contact info, we can try to, like I say, schedule those out over the next few months and try to make sure we're making the rounds and we're hitting as big of a cross-section of our service organizations, churches, and you know, commercial partners, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on that? Any questions for Rob? No?
Also, I'd say, same question goes for people that would be willing to help. Is strictly in-city help, or?
No, I think we could have volunteers from wherever.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would just be limited to, you know, cleaning up properties inside the city limits.
Okay, moving forward, Adopt-A-Block update. Teresa's kind of taken this under her wings, and I know C was working on a little bit, and
Very little.
get an update from you guys.
I got to admit, I haven't really done a whole lot, but just now finished up with the Christmas holiday things and the decorations put away, so now we can start concentrating on this kind of thing again and get back on track. So I got to apologize. I have not really done very much.
And I also don't have any additional information since our last meeting. So I assume, though, after all the holidays, we can all hit the ground running again.
I just have a little bit of an update. So we received 2 new applications.
So the-
One's from a group called Kingman Kindness, and the other one is Mojave Community College in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce. And again, you know, working with our PIO, she prepared a press release and Facebook post, you know, promoting the program. So hopefully that'll spur some more interest in it too. So.
Yeah, I've got a question, Rob. Is there a way that we can advertise this, put it out in the community better? Because I only received the information through, because I signed up with the City of Kingman email notifications. But I'm wondering, like, can we put in the newspapers, or has that been done? Unfortunately, this is only my second time here, so I don't know what's been done previously, or
Well,
put up a billboard, you know.
These press releases are sent to all media organizations in the Kingman area. So they all received this press release. And there was actually an article in the newspaper about this program too.
Okay.
So, I mean, we try to funnel all of our public outreach through our public information officer because she has all of those contacts. So, in my view anyway, it's the most efficient way to do it, you know, other than, like I say, when we go out. And again, this is something we can talk about if we go out to talk to service organizations about the other program or anything, that, you know, this is an opportunity that's out there too. So.
Okay.
Okay, moving forward, new
Hold up,
business.
hold
Oh,
up. Is this where I can speak about the calendar event? Or is
No,
this-
it's coming.
Nope, it's coming.
It's coming.
Couple more. Discuss it now.
Uh,
Okay, new business.
New business. No Adopt-A-Block.
Discussion and possible action regarding the annual election of Clean City Commission chairperson and vice chair. I know we talked about at the last meeting that
Yeah.
Wayne was wanting to step down and turn over the reins to somebody else.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Every January, we have to elect a chairman and a vice chair.
Oh, I
So
see.
I guess that's kind of, that's up for the commission's discussion at this meeting. So There's a few different ways we can do it, but, traditionally, we've just gone by, consensus basis. I guess if we get into a real tight race, then we can go to a secret ballot if we need to. But I guess maybe I would defer to Chairman Hollins on, whether he would consider, staying on as chairman, or if he's not interested in that, and I guess we could go from there.
Okay. Personally, I would prefer that that somebody else take over. If nobody else wants to, then I guess I would be willing to stay on, but I would just as soon somebody else stepped up and took the reins. I have a major thing coming up sometime. I'm not, it's too soon to say whether it's going to happen or not, so it may take a lot more time of my time to be able to work that other program. So I'd kind of like to be able to do that if everything falls in line. So I guess it's pretty much up to if we got any volunteers or got any appointments or people who want to designate somebody to run, I guess.
Okay, well, I guess
Probably
with
not the
that,
word I was looking for, but
with that, I would ask if there were any nominations for chairman.
I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
So since I've been aboard, C's been chairperson. And even when I was out there, C was chairperson. And apparently, before me, C was chairperson. And then Wayne stepped up and did an excellent job. You still are. And I would love if you decided to continue your reign, because I think you're a wealth of knowledge. Ms. Bowman, I have not seen her in a chairman capacity, yet I believe she's been on the commission, so she's also another wealth of information. My
can't.
nomination would be for her.
Thank you. But I do not articulate well, so I would think I'm a very poor choice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Going along with what Teresa said, my feeling after I've done this so many times, I think every person on the commission should take a shot at being chairperson. It's a neat experience, and I know what Commissioner Bowman's position is, and so the other two people that are in line because of the seniority is Doug and Teresa. And would either of you two be interested in chair position or vice chair position? Doug does a great job. He's really been enthusiastic about this, as well as Wayne has done a great job, and it wouldn't bother me to see him be commissioner chairperson again. So, but I would like to see new faces.
You're referring to Commissioner Olberg?
Yes.
Rod?
Rod, I'm sorry. I don't know why I want to call him Doug all the time. Rod. Yes. I'm sorry.
I'm like, what?
Hey, you.
And I'm thinking, maybe, I'm like, no, that's not.
Well, I'd like to make a comment too. Unfortunately, since I don't have enough time under my belt here and just starting to learn, I'd like to not be nominated, but next year I would seriously consider it. But just the short time I've got to know everybody here, I would recommend any of you to be chairperson, including Rod, so.
Well, I'll make a nomination, if it's all right. I would like to nominate Teresa as chairperson and Rod as vice chair.
Well, how about we do them one at a time?
Okay,
Just so
that's fine too.
it's cleaner in the minutes.
Then we'll start off with the chairperson. I would nominate Teresa Woods.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Okay. And now for the vice chair
They
position?
didn't ask that, did they?
For the vice chair position?
Oh, again, then I'd like to nominate Rod for vice chair.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
I,
All right.
Motion passed.
Thank you very much. So the outside duty of the chair and vice chair is generally we have them come into our office, the week before we set the agenda, just to make sure everybody's on the same page about what's on the agenda. So we'll be contacting you for next month.
congratulations.
Thanks, Wayne.
Okay, moving down the list. Clean City Commission schedule of cleanups now. Discussion for possible action regarding establishing a schedule, and I know Teresa is wanting to make an announcement.
Yes, thank you, upcoming vice chair.
Thank you.
So yes, I've been thinking about this because a lot of folks still are unaware of who we are, what we do, and just how often we do it. So I wanted to, have some serious discussion today and lock in some dates that we can decide to do at least quarterly. I know the weather's pretty extreme in the summertime, so maybe we can use quarterly loosely, so maybe June, July, August, or July, August, September. Some of those we can not be doing cleanups just because of the monsoon and the heat, but they're going to be early in the morning, so how does everyone feel about that?
Well, I guess I got a little something to add about
Okay.
that too. So, typically we do the September cleanup, and then in April, we've done cleanups in April before too. So, Earth Day's at the end of April. I don't really know what the status of United Way is at the moment. I think there's been some turnover there. So I was going to ask the commission if the commission and us, staff, if we could take the lead on trying to make that April cleanup citywide cleanup. So that'd be, again, us talking to people we know and trying to get other groups involved. So if we do the one in September and we do the one in April, and those would be, at least what I'm thinking is, we would stick to that one area that we have, from Bashes down to Maverick there. Then if we could get in two more, again, we don't want to be out there in August, but, maybe one in late, early summer / late spring, and one in, maybe early fall. So, and we could do those somewhere else, and that would just, be like our cleanups. We could go adopt a new spot and do that a couple times a month, or a couple times a year. So we'd have the two big ones that we, in the same spot that we traditionally done, and then we'd have two new ones that we'd have to find a spot on the calendar for that's not too hot or too cold, and we could either pick another spot or maybe just, leave it open and we all see places that need it, so I mean, we could move around.
Do we know if there's any progress on the Route 66 festival, if that is going to happen in the near future or not?
I don't know that.
Okay, because I was thinking that would be a good time to do a citywide cleanup a week or so before any big event such as that, even Andy Devine days, and that kind of throws it into the realm of when River Cities United Way had their cleanup, citywide cleanup as well. So I will take it upon myself to find out what's going on with United Way being there right up the street from where I live, so I can go talk to her. And
I appreciate it.
if Debbie is still there, they change people rather regularly there,
Yeah.
so we'll find out what's going on with that.
Excuse me, the fun run. We usually do it, in April because of the fun run.
Because of the fun run, yes.
And they are having it.
Good.
They are having the fun run.
Is there a date set on that?
Well, it seems to me it's usually the first week of May.
Yeah.
It's the last of April or
29th,
first of May, somewhere's
Yeah.
right in there.
So if we did
yeah.
it at the end of April,
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
would fit in.
I'm wondering, I understand about doing the cleanup before an event, but usually it's always more stuff after event. Would it be better to do it after the event or before an event? And if we have a date, should we always pick an alternate date just in case something's going on with weather or whatever? We just automatically know it'll be the next date.
Well, most of the special events, if an organization puts on a special event, they're responsible for the cleanup. And so
Okay.
I guess I would think we'd be better off doing the cleanup, before when people are coming into town for the event.
Right.
The festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with all the tourists coming to town, it makes the city look good.
And the weather stuff,
Provided the wind don't blow.
yeah. It's so, like on the weather front, I can only really think of one that we canceled, and that was that freak cold snap we got
Mhm.
last year. We live in a beautiful place with beautiful weather, so it's generally pretty good.
Would it be possible to reinstate our community-wide cleanup like we used to do at the fairgrounds? I don't know whether the county would allow us to do that again or not there at the fairgrounds, because I was thinking, my first thought was down at Public Works where they used to have all of the recycle containers and everything. But then I got thinking with the pileup of traffic that we normally have, that might really cause a problem out on Andy Devine out there. So I was just wondering,
Well,
would it be possible to get the fairgrounds for something like that again?
I don't know. We had a lot of problems when we were doing
Yeah.
the fairgrounds
I
thing.
know.
We had, because that caused a lot of traffic problems in that neighborhood.
In the neighborhood, exactly.
And dust problems, and we had, that was back when we had inmate labor, and we don't have inmate labor anymore.
Oh, we don't, okay.
And that was kind of a mutual decision by us and the Fairgrounds Board, not to do it there anymore. So I would say probably not. But
Probably not, yeah. Because I was concerned with the traffic on Route 66, it's moving at 55 miles an hour out there, and I just think the lineup would be terrible, so, just a thought.
I have another
I-
thing as well. So you were talking about doing it with events or areas due to the event location coming through. So we would be benefiting all the tourists that come in. What about the residents that live here and would like to see part of their area cleaned up, even though they have chosen not to or are unable to? So could we do, like, if you want to do one like around an event, upcoming event, could we do like one around an event and then one just in a more of a residential area? So, and then maybe that area can change, set up some kind of parameters and say, we could all decide this area, this quarter, or just some way, so it's kind of like everybody reaps the benefit instead of just one certain.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think, even like when we clean our area of Andy Devine, I commute by that every day. I think there's a lot of people that drive by it every day to see it, not necessarily just tourists. And I think, typically our Adopt a Block program's focused on our arterial streets because they have the highest traffic volumes and it gets seen by the most people. And most people know that, Airway across from Walmart's a mess, and because everybody's driving by it every day. So I don't know how much we would get in the neighborhoods, and, yeah, I don't know. I think that's something we could talk about, but
Just a thought.
I think when we, it's kind of like us when we're fixing streets and we're working in neighborhoods, it's, why are you in their neighborhood and not mine? And, but, we can talk about it.
If we're considering the tourists coming and to present a nice-looking, clean town, I know it might be a logistic problem, but I notice all the off-ramp areas are just terrible.
Exactly.
Is there any way
Well,
we
that
can?
would be a separate agenda item. And we could do that if you wanted to, but,
I had a question. On the city website, is there a map stating what's city property versus private property, like open fields and that kind of a thing, or just along roadways, or, because there's a lot of fields that just.
yeah,
like, we
well,
could tackle
no,
one of
I mean,
those
there's
fields and-
the Mojave County GIS has, the assessor's office has a GIS database that has that information on it. Typically, we're working in the rights of way, and that's where we want people to work, in the rights of way. But, if you have any particular areas you're interested in, I can definitely track that down for you.
Well, I just think it would help, even if we're just wanting to do something on a Saturday or something, grab some trash bag and go pick up some trash on city property somewhere, rather than along the roadways or something, whatever. That's all.
Well, we do have those other programs too, along with Adopt a Block, we have the Adopt a Trail and Adopt a Park programs, and, those are available for any organizations or interested people that would want to clean up there.
How many parks are adopted?
That's a good question. I don't have that answer, but,
I know the Rotary, Kingman Rotary, 66 Rotary, we do the Metcalf Park once a month, but I don't know of any other parks.
yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. I think, I know that White Cliffs Trail System, I think the Main Street program picks up trash there. I think there's another group that picks up trash along the Mojave Wash Pathway, but I don't have the full list of who's doing what where.
Okay.
It might be on the city's website under the Parks Department page, but I don't know. But we can find out.
Yeah, Mike Mearsman would have that information, sure.
I think that would be a good thing for the Clean City Commission to put a list together, like the Rotary Club, everybody you just mentioned. Let's maybe all get together and try and get a list put together. So even our meetings, we can do an announcement of, because I'm sure there's a lot of citizens out there that wouldn't mind helping out on a weekend, picking up trash somewhere. They just call the Rotary Club. What do you got going on this weekend? They can help, even if we're not in the middle of doing something. Maybe there's some kind of a list we can put together for that.
Okay, we can look at that.
Okay.
We'll get with Parks and see if we can put together a list, and we can incorporate that into our event calendar. And like I say, just make that announcement at all of our meetings.
I know White Cliffs is doing it every month. and-
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so we have Earth Day, the city wants to do a citywide cleanup that day, which is what, the 22nd, it looks like. So, and then the other one would be what, August or September, the regularly scheduled ones. And I like the idea of doing the other two that we're going to schedule, if that comes about, of doing it at alternate locations, whether it be a different part of the road or a different neighborhood or whatever. I think it would be something we would keep an eye out as we're traveling, doing our daily travels around the area and seeing something that, hey, this place, we could do a cleanup here, let's schedule it. Let's see about scheduling it for the next cleanup date and do that instead of having the same, doing the cleanup of the same area 4 times a year. Not that it won't need it maybe, but I think we can do more for the city if we spread it out, in my opinion.
Well, if that's the general consensus of the commission, what we could do is go through and identify a couple more dates, you know, like I say, early fall, late spring. And, yeah, we could just, in the months preceding that scheduled event, we could just put it on the agenda and ask for nominations on where we should go clean up some trash.
I have a question also, another question. So what type of liability if we made some announcement about cleanup at X, Y, and Z, and then someone showed up with, do we provide training for residents or anybody just wanting to show up to clean?
Well, typically we started up this new program that Eddie and Donna kind of worked on, but like with the new Adopt-A Block, people who are signing up for it. So we've got some safety information that we put together, and we asked them that before they schedule their first event, that we meet with them and go through this safety. It's a safety briefing, and we kind of just utilize some of the stuff that ADOT has from the Adopt a Highway program. Some of it's not applicable, but a lot of it is. And give that safety briefing, and we provide the trash pickers and the vest, and just remind people to stay out of the road and don't pick up things if you don't know what they are, and just kind of that basic stuff. So
I was just thinking when our commissioner was talking about like going out, if people wanted to just go out and pick up areas, would that be any liability to the city?
I don't believe so. I mean, former Commissioner Hollins has made a second career out of that, so.
That is true.
I do it all the time, so, yeah.
That's all I had.
I was wondering about putting little periodic articles in the paper about keeping the area clean, and maybe just now and again showing a picture of an area that is really, really nasty for no reason. For instance, the outlets from various grocery stores, Walmart comes to mind, going out onto Airway. I passed by there a week ago, and there was probably a trash pile that was 8 feet in diameter and 8 inches deep in water bottles and whatnot. I did come by a couple of days later, and it was clean. So someone did go out and take care of it. But there have been times when I've seen people put down containers that they've been drinking out of alongside their car, shut the door and start to back out, and I confront them and tell them they left their container on, and I got a one-finger salute and some nasty words, and they left anyway. So I was just wondering if there's any way we could kind of give people their 10 minutes of shame or whatever in the newspaper about the way they're neglecting the city, and I don't know.
That would be liability.
Well, yeah, I think,
Better get the city attorney ready for that one.
yeah.
No,
Well,
maybe-
I mean, you wouldn't
don't-
mention
I
it.
agree.
There would be no names mentioned. It's just that this is a. Well, we could do that, and maybe just sort of in the background have the license plate. Hey.
I think
Anything parked in public is fair game.
I think Commissioner Russell's got a picture of my house that he wants to put in.
I know you haven't seen my house either.
No, but you could turn that around and
But-
say, if you see areas like this in your, within the city, contact our blah, 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 and that would be like a tip line almost.
Because I know, but There was one time when we were at this goes back a ways, we were asked to do a presentation for the Republican Forum, and we were talking, and all the people in the room were just thrilled about recycling, and as long as someone else would do it. It was, well, who's going to take care of all of this trash? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? It was never, well, we could do this and we could do that. It's who is going to do it. And I think that's the message that I would like to try and get across, that if you want to see a cleaner looking city, you've got to kind of take some responsibility for it.
And make it a community effort.
Yeah,
It's an individual effort.
yeah.
Well, I think-
An individual effort, yeah. Pick up that Coke bottle that's laying out there or whatever and put it in the trash. Or try and get the grocery stores to put chain down some more trash cans in their parking lot that the people wouldn't have to walk more than 10 feet for. And anything more than that, that's too far.
So just to add to that, like I've said on a lot of homeowner associations and stuff, and in the newsletters, about every other newsletter, we would put a little bleep in there. So maybe we could have the PIO send a blurb out to the Standard and the newspapers. Hey, could you please add a little community effort to pick up, clean up, some kind of little blurb that says clean up after yourself, blah, blah, blah. Maybe every other month or so, the newspapers run a little small paragraph on it.
Just a thought.
I mean, if one person reads it and goes, oh yeah, I got all that junk in my, we're that much ahead.
No, I understand, and I can run that up the flagpole. I think that's a little bit different than what this agenda topic is, but,
Yeah, sadly, it should be a no-brainer to people,
yeah.
but you're always gonna have that, I don't know, poor human behavior element in these types of things.
It's called entitlement.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
bad behavior and bad habits and that kind of thing, so.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I think we need to move on, Rob, or?
We can move on.
Yeah, like I say, we'll pick out some dates, have some 3 or 4 choices for you, and then we can check calendars and see how that works, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Next topic, Clean City Commission duties and responsibilities. I had asked to have that put on months ago, and we all got busy and it dropped off. So is that on there for something that you wanted to add, or you want me to just kind of
Well, no,
go over it briefly?
Well, I'll just give you a little bit of background on it. So, we'll have our open meeting law training next month, and that includes a little bit of orientation about the role of the commissioner and that kind of thing. But the city attorney's looking at rewriting some of the city code that governs commissions. And I think what kind of triggered it is we have several commissions that have trouble filling 7 spots. So I think he's looking at
They
whether
have trouble what?
having 7 people on the commission. So they don't have interested people to fill vacancies when they
Oh, I
lose
don't,
people.
okay.
So, some of the commissions may be recommended to move down to 5 members. But while they're looking at that, I thought that might be a good time. I didn't really envision a whole lot of discussion on this tonight, but I just wanted to get it to you. And, we can talk about it next month. And I think like with the open meeting law training and some of that, it'll be a little bit more apropos next month. But this is just so you have it and you can kind of read through it. And, commissions are like anything else, they kind of have their own life, they're created maybe with one vision in mind and then, branch out into other things. So, some of the stuff in here isn't directly applicable to what we've been doing, and so we're just looking for input from you on areas of emphasis that the commission's interested in and working on, and maybe some of the things that are in here aren't really appropriate anymore. Maybe there's some new things that we could be added in. Again, ultimately, that whatever revisions are made to the city code would go back before council for adoption, and that decision's ultimately theirs. But I just thought this might be a good time to review. This is what the city code says the commission can or should be doing, and see how that meshes up with what we've been doing, and maybe trying to align those two a little bit better. So, like I said, we just wanted to provide it this month, give you a chance to look over it for a month or so, and then next meeting, we can kind of jump into it, if that's all right with everybody.
That was the list that was on the PowerPoint that you sent us, right, when we signed up? Okay. Yeah, the way to do things, right? The laws and the way the business should be run, yeah.
I don't know if any, who all have read through the thing on the city code for the responsibilities of the Clean City Commission, but if you haven't did that, I would suggest that you become familiar with that for the next meeting if we're going to discuss it then, and then we'll be more prepared to discuss those things.
And I have this list that we created when I first started. Because there was a lot of things, I don't know if some of the new commissioners don't know, but I kind of work with a lot of general contractors and stuff, and I was going to throw this out in this section. They're leaving their trash, their construction debris. So I've been working really hard with that. Rob and I kind of worked together on how to approach them and stuff, and made a lot of good friends. And so for the new commissioners, if you see something like that, a house being built, there's a big pile of trash next to it, or they're not hitting the dumpster, just call me and let me know. Most likely I know the contractor and I'll go talk to him. If not, I work very closely with Sean. I was working with the chief, but the new chief has me working with Sean now. So I work with Sean real close, and he calls and holds up the permit if he has to. He'll not approve an inspection until it's taken care of. Also, if it's not something that's construction related, then I've been working with Sergeant Reif, and Lieutenant Bryce was here meeting with us. So I work with Sergeant Reif, which is the head of the code enforcement, and turn that over to him. So we don't want to really get involved per se, but I don't personally turn everything over I see if I already know the general contractor. So if you see something, just throw it my way, and I'll take care of it. I'm more than happy to do that. But initially, when we were doing that, the question came up, is it our responsibility or not? I feel, and if you look down through our responsibility list, which I can make a copy for everybody, and Wayne and I have talked about this extensively. If you look down through our responsibility list, it pretty much is our responsibility. Initiate, plan, direct, well, let's say, enlist the cooperation of citizens, government, businesses, and industry to this end, which the end is to keep the city clean. So basically that's what I've been doing, going out, meeting people. I met a lot of shopping center owners, most of the major shopping centers, met the owners. And yeah, so it seems to be working out real well. Right, so I think that's initially why I wanted to have this put on the agenda 3-4 months ago, so we could all have a discussion about the responsibilities and who's doing what. We talked about certain people, certain commissioners can take the reins, like Teresa took the reins of the Adopt-A-Block, doing an awesome job. I took the reins of kind of going out, meeting contractors, trying to get their properties cleaned up a little bit better as they're building. And so that's why that's why I put it on the agenda, or wanted to put it on the agenda. Anyway, that's all I had to say with that. I'm not going to go into any more detail.
I'll just add to that real quick. When I was applying for the commission, there's a place on the website where you can go for the application, and under the application, it gives the list of responsibilities
This
too.
is it.
So, yeah.
So you guys can do that, I mean, it's right there, plain as day. And if anybody's going to try and change this, then I think we need to really have a serious
Well,
discussion about that.
Yeah, and I guess just a disclaimer, I haven't gone through what's on the website, but, I mean, what's in the city code is what the ordinance is. So
Exactly.
that's what we want to go through and see if we have any suggestions, or, like say, I don't know that it's about, taking anything away or adding anything, but maybe just areas of emphasis that, we see as where we can have the most impact with what we're doing.
Perfect.
I got a comment. On item 5, in the monitor city performance from data collected and examined under the Keep America Beautiful Incorporation, Clean Community System Guidelines, and make an annual report to the Common Council, excuse me. A lot of those programs, the Keep America Beautiful thing, it doesn't seem to be as robust as it used to be in our Keep Arizona Beautiful program that kind of mirrored the Keep America Beautiful. It's kind of fallen by the wayside because the persons who are running it have retired and moved on to other things, so it's not quite what it used to be. So a lot of that stuff we probably need to look at it and make some of our own information that we need to be collecting on and stuff like that, in addition to the Keep America Beautiful, because I think it's really kind of changed since I've been on the commission. So
that's a fair point. You know, a lot of the things that are referenced in the city code, you know, that was drafted 20 years ago. So, you know, there have been changes and changes in organizations or effectiveness of organizations. So, yeah, that's all stuff we can look at.
yeah, and I see item 1 on that is develop citywide refuse and environmental policy plans, obviously excluding the policies concerning the financial structure of the sanitation system. But I feel we're kind of light on that, and we could be looking at those programs and stuff like that and making recommendations, environmental, recycling, yard waste, collection, you know, there's just a myriad of things that we could be doing, and some of them that we should be doing. Again, like I say, I don't like it that we don't have any goals to reach with any program. And that's one thing I think we should be looking at strongly is making a goal, because I think without a goal, you don't have no direction to go to. You're just out there flip-flopping around and doing something, but nobody knows exactly what and why we're doing it. So that would be my suggestion on those. And that's my opinion.
Okay, anybody else on that subject? Announcements by commission members. Any new announcements? Limited announcements, availability, attendance, requests for agenda items for future meetings. Bless you.
Well, I've got an announcement and an agenda request. Since this is my second meeting, I don't know if this has been covered before, so I apologize if it has been. But we've all received packages from Amazon, and one of the packages we get are like these plastic things here. And I know the recycling in this town is kind of gone by the wayside and a lot of things. And I found out that there are collection places here in town at the stores that you can put certain kinds of plastics in there, like these bags, the bags that goes around, red bags, dry cleaning bags, those air pills that come pack in, you know, in packages and stuff like that. And I've checked out 3 of the stores. Safeways and Bosch's definitely have one, but the website I looked at said that Smith's and Walmart has them. So that's something I don't know if we can get out to the community or what we'd like to do about it, but I was pleased to find we got a place to take some bags to. But and it's really, like I said, limited to certain kinds, like the little plastic rings that come around the Coke cans or the bottles. those aren't accepted, but I think it's the thinner kind of plastic bags that they accept in those. And they're right inside the entrances, usually right to the right side of the doors, so. And my agenda request is on December the 7th, the city council meeting was given a presentation from Bird Scooters. The Kingman Economic Department team has been in communication with Bird Scooter, and the senior executive from Bird, Mike Butler, gave the presentation. He stated they are a micro-mobility company with a focus in shared electric vehicles, and that they want to improve our communities and the lives of those around us. And you can watch this on YouTube, you know, the presentation. I did some research and learned that some interesting other information regarding Bird Scooters. There are several cities that have had issues with the service. And the article I read was by Ben Bergman, May 18th, 2021. And he stated they are being kicked out of the town that they actually got started in. And there are pros and cons to these scooters. You know, there's a lot of pros, you know, for the cities, you know, revenue and things like that, but there's also a lot of bad things for the city. And one of them is being that they litter the areas. And
Excuse me,
cities,
Mr. Case, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this agenda item is for announcements related to commission or related activities. And since that's an agenda item that, you know, went through another department to the city council, I guess I would ask that you give those comments to the economic development team.
Yep, I could do that. I was just thinking since it's a littering issue that these scooters do, that maybe we should come up with our own research and submit our recommendations too, because it affects the city, the clean city. But yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I would yeah, provide your comments to the economic development department. They should be able to help you out.
Okay.
Any further announcements?
I've got nothing.
I don't know, I was gonna say I was surprised to find out, or I guess happy to find out, I signed up for the Kingman Academy. I guess it's for
Oh.
people that want to get
Citizen Academy?
involved with the community, and it was full. I'm on a waiting list. And that was a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, I signed up, and it's gonna happen in February, so, I mean, that's a good thing, right? Maybe there will be more commissioners eventually.
Yeah, we need to talk about that one. Yeah. Yeah, it is, that's a good sign. I'm sorry, I'm discussing and I shouldn't be discussing. These are announcements. I apologize.
Okay, anything else?
The only, I have now, I guess I'm going to attend training, which I'm paying for, in March about water harvesting design certification course down in Tucson. That'll be a week long, and so I'll be out of the area for that, but I should be back for the meeting and stuff. But it should be get some good information and training out of that for that I can spread around to everybody. So that's
Okay, thank
something
you,
I
Wayne.
got going on.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Wayne. And we're out of time and need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you all.
Hi, Wayne. Thanks, Wayne.
Bye, Wayne.
Uh-huh.